Here we come. Oh, man.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Hey,
everybody.
hey,
Hi,
welcome
everybody.
to
Welcome.
The Ramble presents Good Willow Hunting.
This is what we do here is it's a film retrospective
Yes.
podcast where
We show renowned film critic Cody
Viafania, who hit, well, you say renowned, but has he ever seen Break Into Electric Boogaloo?
No, he has not.
So I don't know
he's
if
not
we
familiar with the Chud franchise.
Chud franchise, and I don't even know if he's seen the Masters of the Universe film with Dolph Lundgren and
So
Frank
okay,
Langella.
I strike renowned.
Strike renowned from the
Just film critic Cody.
just film critic. And there he is. What up, man?
Hi. No, actually, I just watched all the Chud movies.
Okay,
All right.
I take it back. You are renowned.
Renowned. Real quick, has Mike McCarthy been fired by now? Do you think? Hopefully, maybe. I can't blame him. He didn't ruin the offensive line, but he did hire Mike Nolan.
He hired Mike Nolan.
Shouldn't that be enough?
And your defense has never been. It was not this bad before.
No.
Last
Hey,
couple
but-
years ago, you had a good defense.
Yep.
By the time this airs, we're coming off a big win against the Washington football team.
Hey.
You don't know that.
Maybe.
You
I
don't
don't.
know
I
that.
don't know if I'd thank.
No, I don't know that
don't
at
know
all.
that.
Oh man. Well, here we
But
are.
hey, we're still in present day. We are
Yes.
leading the division, baby.
Leading the that could all change by the time this airs. But
Have you seen that meme of the four Spider-Men pointing at each other?
NFC East. Yeah.
We're all dressed in different colors, all just pointing at each other. That's how bad this
Oh,
division
it's
is.
so bad, and we're in the middle of it. Isn't that amazing? Man, by the way, go to hempvita.com. It's
Hempvita,
right up there,
right
isn't it,
here.
Eddie.
Boom,
Boom.
right
there it is.
And then here's some of their lovely products.
Look at that.
Look at those
Look
gummies.
At look at Eddie had a gummy. How's
I
the
had
gummy?
one. It's good. I had one last week. I'm still feeling good.
Still feeling good from
I'm
last
still
week's
feeling
gummy.
good.
Look at that.
Got the muscle rub.
Oof. Oof. Oof.
Oh,
the
hand and body lotion.
Man, but Eddie and I, we used that hand
That's
to
empty.
put it on the body.
That's
If you
empty.
know, that's been empty since we got it. All the products, the tinctures, the gummies, the vape juice, the vape pods, the pet products. Get them for your little pets.
Do it.
And lotions use broad spectrum CBD oil, 0 THC. The combustible ones, the flowers, the pre-rolls have less than 0.3%.
You don't say.
I say.
You say.
I say.
You say.
Hemp Vita will only use industrial hemp grown in the where hacksaw, Jim Duggan?
USA!
Tough guy.
USA! Oh!
Organic with no GMOs. Our CBD is legal. It will not get you high.
Nope.
All of Hemp Vita's products meet the 2018 Farm Bill, which was signed into law December 2018, effectively
Love the Farm
legalizing
Bill.
hemp.
Love the Farm Bill.
Nobody loves a Farm Bill better than me.
Greatest
Nobody
Farm
knows more
Bill
about the Farm Bill.
ever
Totally
lived.
awesome Farm Bill. By removing it from the federal list of controlled substance and classifying it as an agricultural commodity. Okay, all that,
That right there gets you in.
you've already forked over your money.
You're already giving the credit card. Go and charge me whatever.
Charge me.
Just
but
charge
get
me.
that before you do
Right.
that.
Right,
If
before
you
you do
use
that.
the Ramble as a promo code, you get 15% off. How about
What?
that? Damn.
Get out.
Bam, motherfucker.
Get out.
How about that?
Get
Look,
out.
I know. You think
The
right?
Ramble just
The
gets
Ra-
me
that's
15%
it. That's
off.
it. The Ramble, 15%.
Nothing
off.
else.
That's it.
Just the
That's
Ramble.
all you got to do.
I
and
don't got to
say.
pull my pants down.
Nope. All you got. That's it. That's it.
I don't got to do anything I'm ashamed
That
of.
is it.
Just the Ramble.
The Ramble. That's it. Boom. When is this airing? October what? So it's funny that our Halloween Good Willow Hunting will air after Halloween.
After Halloween.
Yeah, this will be out on the 29th.
Yeah, so our big Tango and Cash Halloween spectacular.
We got to talk to Ramble Corporate about
scheduling
That's
this
all that's
because
cat's
the
fault.
next one we're doing Exorcist 1 and 3.
Yeah.
I mean, November's still spooky.
It is creepy, yes.
It's still
Pumpkins are still around.
Pumpkins are still around. It's fine. So all right, here we
It could
go.
be after the election. It could be very scary.
It could be really frightening. Tango. And
Tango.
my Tango, my little. What's a Jack Palance and the
My
Mice?
little cash.
I never understood. Like he just has them in a cigar box. Like he just has
Hey,
two
we
mice.
all have our weird quirks. He just keeps mice in cigar boxes.
Tango and Cash Cody. Let's go. Wait, real quick. Loved this movie when I saw it.
Oh, absolutely.
Loved this.
Absolutely.
Did you want that van at the
Yeah.
end? I mean, come on. That souped up van with the Gatling gun on the
so
side of
fucking-
it.
Puts the A-team to shame.
Oh, it does. So, Cody, your thoughts on Tango and Cash? Oh, real quick. I'm sorry, Cody. We do have a theme here because Midnight Run was the first time you saw De Niro do comedy.
Yes.
That I
Yes.
remember.
Yes.
And this is Stallone's first, I think, action
His
by
first
a mile.
foray into action comedy.
Right, where he was not. He was funny.
Yeah.
He really he worked as a kind of
Now,
doofy cop.
was
Like
this before or after Rhinestone?
Rhinestone this was after. So Rhinestone, but I'm talking like action movie. Cody, I don't know if you ever want to see that. That's a Sylvester Stallone Dolly Parton vehicle. Rhinestone.
Oh, Jesus.
Where Stallone is a cab driver.
He's a cab driver. But this is the first time Stallone in an action role
movie uses the comedic chops.
using a comedic chops.
Right.
Yes. And I thought that
Unlike
was
Rhinestone, where he's
just Eddie Murphy the whole time.
all comedy.
All comedy, right?
Just wall to wall.
I remember
comedy.
loving that movie too as a kid. I think that was going to hold up least of all, but we'll see. So Cody, your thoughts on Tango and Cash?
Well, a few things kind of struck me in waves, right? So the first wave is the opening scene where you see Sylvester Stallone in smart guy glasses,
And
which
an
is
Armani.
already which is already a good
That's just
start.
character development.
Yeah. But then you also see the Rambo is a pussy line.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, maybe I'm interested in this. I'm on board, I think, with this.
Very
Because-
self-aware, very meta joke to make, right?
Yeah.
Like that is just like, all
'Cause
right.
This is what 89, right?
89.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
we had what? First Blood Part 2 was 85.
3 was already in the pike, I believe.
3 might have been around this
3
time.
was already out, I believe. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, and so the next thing that hit me was like the Harold Faltermeyer score, which is the most 80s thing I've ever
It is the
heard.
most 80s soundtrack ever. I remember, it was funny when I saw this movie again. I was instantly humming along with it. I was like, "Oh, I remember that, yeah!" And it just, just keeps going. It just, I think Commando beats it a little bit. But you haven't seen Commando yet, have you?
No.
Okay, Commando's gonna win that battle, I
Yes.
think. But
that's a smackdown.
it's up there. It's a good fight. What's the next
Yeah.
wave? Oh, I can't wait.
The next wave is something that I don't necessarily mean as an insult.
Right.
It's just more of an observation.
Yep.
But I'm watching, and maybe like 20 minutes into the movie, I'm like, this movie is very gay.
It
like,
is extreme.
There's some overtones.
There's a lot of
and
homoerotic
undertones.
tension. I mean, the fact that there's 5 minutes of them naked making fun of each other's dicks in the prison shower.
Not only that, but you get like the shot of them like walking naked.
Walking naked into the
You
showers.
get the ass shot.
The
Yeah.
fact that Stallone is mad that Kurt Russell might be banging his sister.
There's the line about the bigger gun. There's a lot
Yep.
of dick jokes.
Oh,
There's
yep.
one. There's an ass in the face.
Yep.
Joke.
Yep.
There's one about
Yeah.
something about someone getting sticky.
Yeah.
Right. There's a line.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
About getting sticky.
Oh, yeah.
I was like,
This is the Top Gun volleyball scene in a 2-hour movie.
in 2 hours.
and I know that there's been some other critics who've actually written about how homoerotic it is.
It
which,
is.
um,
It is.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It is. It's very much so.
Yeah.
Like
it appeals to a broad spectrum of people.
yes. Now, apparently, this film was going to be much more serious and realistic in tone, but the director started making it a comedy. He went with a comedic route, and that guy got fired during it.
Oh, really?
And there's a lot of stories that supposedly Stallone just took over, wrote the screenplay while they were shooting it, directed the movie,
But he
finished
kept the
directing.
comedy
But he
tone
was like,
to it?
"Fuck it." Stallone wanted to be more serious. But he's like, "This guy already went comedic, so let's just keep it. Let's just have it." So, I wonder how much of that was Stallone, and of course Stallone has always said the glue that held it together was Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
And he was like that through all the
Well,
chaos and the changes.
That type of movie is Kurt Russell's wheelhouse.
It is, and he's great in it. He's fucking great in it.
He is the best. I would say the best comedic action movie.
Oh
star
God,
of all
he's
time.
so fucking yes. He is what John Candy was to regular comedies.
Yes.
That's
is
Kurt
Kurt
Russell to
Russell
action
action
comedy,
comedy.
and he is fucking awesome in this. Like everything about how he is just he's great. He's so funny in it. But yeah, I'm curious. I would love to know what was Stallone's and what wasn't. Right from what he apparently had directed and Stallone.
well, I think you might have it backwards. Because I believe the original director wanted it more serious.
and then Stallone wanted more
Stallone
comedic.
wanted comedy.
That was but then the guy got fired, right?
Wow.
And then
Yeah.
Stallone, I think maybe Stallone. I think you're right. I think Stallone might have been sick of, like,
Doing
let's
that.
let's try
Try
something
something different.
And
That's also why Jack Palance is not, because it went over. I've got the Wikipedia page.
Oh,
over,
nice.
And it went over not only budget but time, and so the British guy becomes the main villain.
John
because
Bryan.
He was on the set more often.
yeah, and did you hear what he said too? Is John Bryan, the reason he did the British accent was because he's like, there's no way I can be memorable next to Stallone and Kurt Russell.
Right.
And, so I had to let me just do an over-the-top British accent so people remember my character. Like, it was interesting.
It's a good call.
Like, yeah. Like, and apparently, I think on the Wikipedia page, it also says Stallone has a sequel ready to go.
For Tango
Yes.
Last year.
Well, I was disappointed in Guardians of the Galaxy 2 when you had Kurt Russell and Stallone in that film.
I know.
And they never shared a scene.
They never shared a scene.
That bothered me.
I know. I was like, there's Tango and
You have
Cash.
Tango and Cash in this movie.
They're
and
right there.
And they can't give a little nod and wink to the screen.
Nothing. I was.
Because the Marvel Universe is full of nods and winks.
Yes.
Why can't you have those two together?
You can throw David Hasselhoff in there, but you can't have
Those-
Tango
Right.
and Cash together.
Those are some awful fake movie names too, by the way.
They are Tango and Cash.
So I was on I was talking to Jared, who I do my podcast
Yep.
with, and he was talking to me. Jerry, have you seen the sequels to The Crow?
I've sadly saw the second one.
Okay, so I guess in the third one, the villains are played by I think it's Edward Furlong and
God.
Oh, God.
That hurts.
Ooh.
hold on, I got to pull this up because I've been laughing about it for a long time.
Oh, God.
It's The Crow's Salvation, and Edward Furlong is one of the villains, and
Jesus.
Eddie Furs.
81st.
let me see here.
Think that's what they call him?
I would.
You think? Okay, is that
If I
what
ever meet him, that's what I'm calling
Does
him.
Bryant Gumbel call him that if he's on Furs?
Hey, first.
Eddie Furs?
Eddie First.
What you interviewed the Titans about this COVID outbreak? What do you think, Eddie Furs?
Oh, the T-1000.
God, I can't find it, but we were talking. Maybe he has bad intel, but he was telling me that like the villains in the movie are called Crash and Burn, like those
Oh,
are their
God.
last names.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
That's bad.
I'm trying to find it.
Wow.
I can't find it.
My little crash.
My little bird.
My little bird.
Oh man.
Anyway.
Crash and Burn. Tango and Cash. That clearly was just a phrase someone uttered. They're like, you know what? I'm making a movie.
Here we go.
Right.
The Crow Wicked Prayer.
Ooh.
That already
This
sounds
is the
good.
one that is.
Already
Yeah.
got in.
So
Wicked
it was
Prayer.
the fourth Crow movie.
Ah.
Oh, I checked out by
That's
that.
the one with Eddie Furl. That's with Eddie First.
Eddie Furs.
Eddie First.
Furs.
T-1000. Now did you work? Are you really afraid of?
Fuck.
Oh yeah. Okay. So here it is. It's David Boreanaz plays
Oh wow.
Wow.
Luke Death, and his last name is Crash.
Luke Death.
And then his fiance is Lola Byrne.
Lola Byrne.
Oh, Crash and Burn.
That is bad. Tango and Cash is better than
And
that.
I've heard David Borealis or whatever his name is. He's
Yeah.
a real charmer to work with on set.
Oh,
Yeah.
supposedly he's it's a doll, huh?
He's a nice dude apparently.
So yeah, let's get so now. What was the next wave after the homoeroticism? Was there any more?
I think that was because that gets established multiple times,
Yes.
throughout, and
Yep.
we didn't even mention Kurt Russell wearing drag at one
That's
point.
right, the big
during
money
the-
shot
yeah!
when he walks out of the club
Right.
with Terry Hatcher. Yeah, and
That's
yes.
right. Oh, this
And-
movie is.
And then the
super.
cop hits on him.
Yeah.
Remember that? The cop hits on Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
That one cop hits on him too. Yeah, that was there
Yeah.
was a lot of that going on.
This is
Very
no
woke.
undertones. This is
Very
just-
woke.
Very progressive.
Very progressive,
progressive
movie. Good for them, man. Good for Tango
Yeah.
and Cash.
I think the biggest thing, and I think the biggest thing that makes it look. I mean, it's not a good movie. I mean,
Right,
it's
right.
but it's surprisingly watchable, and I think the
Yeah.
reason why is because it's very clear that they're having a lot of fun. Like Stallone and Russell are having fun doing it.
Back to Eddie's point. I am bummed they didn't have that in Guardians because again, I would love to see those two guys in more movies.
Yeah.
They were so I mean, their chemistry was instant. Like
Yeah.
that was that scene when they bump and the other one, Eddie, Cody, when they first meet. And Stallone puts the gun to his dick. Like that was, remember that? Like that's,
That's a bold first move.
Kurt Russell's got the gun to his throat, and it's
Yeah.
like, what about this one? It's like right there on his dick, like, hey, big boy.
It's shocking because they were so good together and had such good chemistry, and I've never heard anything about them not getting along.
No, and in fact, Stallone heaped praise on
it's
Russell.
Weird they didn't do other films.
Right,
together.
I know, because
Yeah.
that was a hit. Tango and
Yeah.
Cash didn't bomb. Like,
That's
that was a
weird.
hit.
Very
It was-
strange they
Yeah,
didn't.
it was very odd. Like,
You know what it actually reminded me of was it felt like the Hobbs and Shaw, the
Yeah.
Fast and Furious
Right.
spinoff with
Rocket and Statham.
Jason
I think.
Statham and The Rock.
Right.
Yeah.
And if that movie is very much like Tango and Cash is very clearly a blueprint for that movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Was Kurt Russell in Expendables? In any of the Expendables?
That's a good
Did
question.
he make any of the cut in?
Maybe.
in
I
the 1,
wonder.
2, or 3 Expendables
That's a
movies?
good question.
Because that was basically Stallone bringing all of his action buddies.
Yeah, right
into
in there.
movies.
And Stallone wants Russell to be in part 2. He wrote Tango and Cash. He has it ready to go, and he wants Kurt Russell to do it. So it's not like they hate each other.
Right.
It's weird.
He-
Sabretooth fell.
He turned down the original Expendables and has not been asked to appear.
okay.
I don't think.
Oh,
in any of the
okay.
others.
So at least
So
Stallone
He
tried.
tried.
Yeah.
But oddly, Kurt Russell's in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
That's right. That's
But-
Weird.
But
Maybe
no
Kurt
to
Russell hates
Expendables.
Stallone.
Maybe he hates
That's what it is.
But yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
doing this.
I don't really know what to say. Oh, I was telling Jerry that I finally got my first taste of Robert
the
Zadar.
chin, Zadar. It said, well, that was. I wonder about this too.
Called Face in the movie, right?
Face,
Yeah.
yep, Face Zadar. He was. Oh, I wonder about that. When you first see Zadar, he's driving the opening scene. He's
Yeah.
driving the truck, and I don't know if this was a shot at Schwarzenegger or not, but Stallone delivers a Schwarzenegger pun better than Schwarzenegger does. I don't know if that was a little jab or
Oh,
not.
I'm sure what this was the height of the rivalry.
Right. So when Zadar and the other guy come flying out of the
Yeah.
18-wheeler, and then Stallone, nice of you two to drop in. Like that
Yeah.
was I thought that was a shot right at Schwarzenegger.
I bet you
puns.
it was.
And like,
I
look,
bet
here's
you it
how
was.
you do it, buddy.
If
Here's-
Stallone wrote this,
Right,
had a lot
here's-
to do with the movie. I bet because this was the height of their power.
Right.
Rambo and Commando and Predator, and
all that shit.
all that shit going back and forth.
Just Predator apparently existed because the joke was because Rambo 4. The joke was Rocky 4. Rocky's beating everyone.
Yeah.
He's got to fight an alien next.
Yeah.
That was like a joke in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And then two guys were like, "Well, that's a movie." And then they wrote Predator. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was It's but I mean, I let's talk about Jack Palance and this trio of villains who run all the drug trafficking in L.A. who are the most useless villains in any movie ever. They're dead 5 seconds after Tango and Cash show up. It just didn't. They didn't have any goons.
No.
Like it was just weird.
them.
Like all their goons were outside shooting the truck.
It was a
and then-
shift change.
It was and like the fact that you have like at that point probably 95-year-old Lopan from Big Trouble in Little China shooting a machine gun at Stallone and Kurt Russell. Like that was. I didn't like. Yeah, it was that movie. You could tell. But that's I think another reason that I enjoy it is this movie should have been completely unwatchable.
Yeah.
Right? Like if you and I think
that speaks to the charisma of Stallone and Kurt Russell.
right, like and because like you said, Cody, the villain is gone.
Yeah.
Jack Palance is like, why is this the bad guy? And then they just inexplicably kidnapped Stallone's sister. Like that's the ace in the
That
hole.
feels like it was like tacked on. Like
Right.
that's probably not even Jack Palance holding her at the end.
right. Like they're like, fuck, just get an old guy to grab her. Like that was like
Because it's got like the mirrors and stuff. Like
Yep.
clearly, and I think when he gets shot, it's just like a close up of the the head, right?
Yes, it's just the head as he collapses. Probably a doll they made.
that was reshoots.
absolutely.
They called Stan Winston in to just make a Jack Palance doll. But it is weird how like there was zero pay, and as a kid I didn't think about it.
No,
right?
kid, you're
I was
just like fuck guns.
right, but I mean
action.
the villain is beat when they stick the grenade in John Bryan and kick him down
Yeah,
the steps.
that's it.
That's it.
That's
That's
it.
really the end of it. Instead, they have that weird mirror Conan 2 scene where it's the mirrors and like, yeah, it was. But again, all the credit in the world to those two for
Yeah.
making this. They make this movie watchable and not a bad time when
Well,
it should have been terrible.
And I think it doesn't really have any speed other than like them bitching at each other
Right.
like for 2 hours. Like it really is just them getting on each other's nerves
Yep.
for 2 hours. And again, I think obviously Kurt Russell shines in here in this
Right.
movie. But again, when we were talking about last episode of De Niro shining in comedy, Stallone holds his own.
Yeah.
He's great. He's
and
great
is
at
really
this.
funny.
He does a lot of the jokes. Stallone they pay off
Yeah.
so well, and like it.
I mean, Stallone gets a lot of shit for Rambo and the Rocky sequels, but in
Right.
the first Rocky, he's a fantastic actor.
He's great
He's
in
a
the
great
first Rocky.
actor in the first Blood movie.
Yep, he is so good in the.
In Copland, he's a great actor.
Copland was
he's
tremendous.
a great actor.
Yeah, have you seen Copland, Cody?
No.
Ooh, that's okay. Mark that one down. Write that Coplands, and that's
Yeah.
that. But yeah, he was. I thought he was really good in this. Now, what I teased a couple of Ramble radios ago.
Yeah.
the only drawback to how good he was in Tango and Cash was this gave us Oscar and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. That's the only problem. Is he's like, fuck it, I'll keep doing more comedies. And
Well,
it's like,
he was
no.
able to do that. He survived Rhinestone and got to Tango and Cash.
Yeah.
And then he's like, see, I was right.
I could do. This is it.
I proved all the doubters wrong after Rhinestone,
Right.
and then he did Oscar and Stop My Mom Will
Yeah,
Shoot.
but it is like I found myself now still kind of chuckling at the line when they're in the prison. He's like, I do miss my suits, whatever. Like when he's walking, like I do miss my
he's
wardrobe.
good at
like
comedy when he's in an action role. I don't think he can just. He just doesn't have. His character Stallone carries a certain amount of I don't know if it's gravitas or just a certain thing that you expect out of Stallone that you can't just put him in as a taxi driver and be like a guy busting balls.
Right.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot like a slapstick.
It
Comedy.
just doesn't work.
work.
Yeah, it's and thankfully the first Creed, it was good to see him still be great as an actor. The first Creed, he was tremendous, I thought too. But I really think it was surprising. I think it was very surprising to see Stallone at the time just really work as a charismatic action comedy guy.
Yeah.
And also that took balls to do it next to, like you said, maybe the greatest ever with Kurt Russell. I mean, the fact that Kurt Russell didn't just run away with the movie is a testament to Stallone.
He could have stolen every scene.
He could have stolen every scene, but Stallone was able to hang.
That's how great Russell is. He can give.
Yeah,
that's what a good actor does.
Yep, and he does. Like he lets Stallone have a lot of great comeback and just serves it up for him a lot of times. I thought that was I thought that was great.
What do you give this one though, Cody?
What do you if you're gonna rank this?
Oh man, this is tough. I think I would probably Here's what I'll say. I'm gonna give this a caveat that might sell it better.
Okay.
So I would probably give it a C+.
Yep.
Because I don't think that it's a good movie, but it is watchable. And what I can say is, compared to another Stallone movie I saw for the first time this year, I liked this better.
Which Stallone movie was that?
Demolition Man.
Ooh, controversial. A lot of people love Demolition Man, but
I know.
I'm with you. Give me Tango and
I would
Cash,
take Tango and Cash.
over Demolition Man.
I would watch
Man
Tango and
too.
Cash again over
Absolutely. Demolition Man has the scene where he gets all the toilet paper by cussing. That's it. Wesley Snipes is great because Wesley Snipes is always fun to watch. But Demolition Man, I could give a fuck about that. Give me Tango and Cash.
Kurt Russell in Demolition Man with it was Tango and Cash got cybergenically frozen.
To the future.
Cryogenically frozen.
Way better movie.
Now Demolition Man becomes a sequel to Tango and Cash.
Way
and they're
better
going
movie.
after Wesley Snipes.
Way better movie.
How awesome
That's a great
is that
movie.
That's a great movie.
That's a good movie.
I'm in Demolition Man. Look, I mean, they just shoehorned Sandra Bullock. She was so fucking. She was such a waste in that. It was.
The jokes are just such low hanging fruit. Like
Bad.
it's the easiest possible jokes you can make.
So bad. It is so bad. Yeah. I'm with you there. Give me Tango and Cash. I actually am right with you. Now, okay, 1989. Christmas of '89. 12-year-old me gives this an A+++.
Greatest movie ever.
Maybe the greatest movie ever. I certainly thought it was up there. It was up there, and I also love the little cameo by the guy who was like their Q, the one who designed all the gadgets. The dude who was in Scrooge. He was in all those movies. He was so great. But I'm with Cody. I think looking back, this is a C+. And it would have been an absolute F had anyone else been the 2 stars. I think it would have been.
I'm going to give it a B.
You'll go B.
I'm going to go B.
Tango and Cash gets a B.
I'm gonna go B.
There it is. Wow, look at that.
I hold that movie in high regard.
I loved it when I was I still enjoy it. I would watch it again.
Oh, at any point. Just
yes, if it's
TV,
on, I'll watch it. Yeah, if it's on, I'll watch it. But I do think there are so many logistic problems.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, they get set up in the easiest way possible.
Yes,
too.
and then,
that didn't even make sense.
It didn't make.
That doesn't have to make sense as long as they're into the story.
Right, and then
just move the plot along. Who cares?
I mean, if you have any logical eye, you're calling bullshit when they both make that 30-foot leap and grab the electrical wire, in the middle of a thunderstorm.
Now, if you have to take one person out of this movie and put it into
Midnight Run,
the
trade.
If you have
Here
to make
we
a
go.
trade to save both franchises.
I don't want to take away either of the 2 guys.
Dennis Farrar for Jack
That's
Palance.
what I'm saying. Dennis Farina for Jack Palance, I think works. I think that works because Jack Palance could be just as creepy.
He can be creepy in anything.
Yeah, and he's done funny before with
Yeah.
City Slickers.
So he won't affect Midnight Run one way or the
no,
other.
and I think Dennis Farina definitely
Dennis
helps.
Farina helps Tango and Cash.
I just want to try to get away. I want to try to find a way to put Robert Zadar in Midnight Run.
Oh, Zadar. Okay. He could be the guy at the very beginning that De Niro busts, in Midnight Run that him and Marvin fight
bold
over.
and go Zadar for De Niro?
Oh,
How do you just make a bold
that is wow.
Make a bold move. Like,
Man,
think outside the
how
box.
quick is the Midnight Run GM fired after that move? How quick is that guy gone I'll give you De Niro for Zadar. Okay, I'll do that. No draft picks, just straight up. Both guys will do it.
How about Zadar and Palance for De Niro?
I can't. I'm staying. If I'm Midnight Run, I'm saying no to that. I'm saying. I think though, maybe
Kurt Russell for De Niro would work.
That
It
would work.
would help Midnight Run. I think that would be a good Midnight Run.
I wouldn't mind
With
seeing
Kurt
a
Russell
Tango
in
and
that.
Cash with De Niro
But
and
I don't know if
Stallone.
Stallone and De Niro together. And
I didn't see
I
that
want to
movie
see
where
the shower
they were.
scene with those guys.
Right. That's true. That's
Doing dick jokes with
no.
each other.
Yeah, I
You
don't
just
think
see
that
fucking
works.
Stallone's ripped ass walking and then fucking De Niro's saggy
You
ass.
could talk me into Brian for Ashton. You
Okay.
could talk me into that.
Okay, that could work.
Marvin for the British guy.
Yeah.
You could talk. I mean, I think Marvin it would be nice to see him shine as the villain of a
But
movie.
there's no major trades that could be made between.
No.
You could go Stallone for Yaphet Kotto.
Oh, that gets interesting.
Yeah, that might work.
That gets interesting. Yaphet Kotto and Kurt Russell naked making dick jokes.
That might work.
That might work. Well, there we go, man. Thank you for tuning in to another Good Willow Hunting.
Yes.
After Halloween, we're going to be doing Exorcist 1 and
And
Exorcist 3.
Oh, 3, that's
We're
right.
avoiding 2. We're just going to pretend 2 never happened like
Okay.
we should, like any fan of the
Like any-
Exorcist movies
Any
should.
red-blooded American.
Yeah, that is like, do we ever do this? Should we one day do an Exorcist 2, Crow 2, and just see which is worse? Like, which one holds up the
Jesus.
least?
Oh, how about Exorcist 2, Crocodile Dundee 2?
Oh!
How about we do
Cody,
that?
have you seen any of the Crocodile Dundee movies?
I feel like I have. I just don't remember anything.
One,
about them.
do you think one still holds up?
I think so.
I bet it does.
I think one's a good movie.
One's a good
very
movie.
good movie.
2
I haven't seen it in a while.
is a
2
nightmare.
2's a nightmare.
2 is
2 is one of the biggest letdown. 2 is up there with Matrix 2 as far as letdowns go.
Absolutely. That is a great top 5.
We
Worst,
could do
worst
Crocodile
part
Dundee
2.
2 and Matrix 2, which is the bigger letdown to a franchise.
Which is the bigger letdown to a franchise,
Because
man.
they're both first installments, I think, are great films.
And both end perfectly.
End
There's no
perfectly.
need to keep on.
Does not need a sequel.
Doesn't need a sequel. I think Crocodile Dundee killed the franchise more because Matrix they had to do it because they filmed it back to back.
Yeah.
So they had to put out part 3. That's a man. We'll see one day. Well, thank you for tuning in to Good Willow Hunting. Go to hempvita.com, 15% off if you use the Ramble as your code word. Follow us on all of our shit. You know where to find us. Next week we give you The Exorcist. The week after that, The Exorcist 3.
Yeah.
Cody has not seen The Exorcist 3, have you?
I have not.
Okay, you are going to see. I'm just going to spoil one thing right now. What you never thought would ever happen in a movie. You're going to see Patrick Ewing as an angel. and it's not I think it's a great movie.
And you're not a Knicks fan from the 80s.
And you're not a Knicks fan from the 80s, and there is a quick shot of Patrick Ewing, I believe, as an angel. And it is actually Patrick Ewing.
Ooh.
And you also, in that same sequence, see one of Samuel L. Jackson's first roles.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's
I
something.
have a feeling that Patrick Ewing will factor heavily into the trades in that episode.
in Exorcist 1
You can't
and
have
2.
a discussion without it. I'm
No,
sorry.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's...
Because you get the basketball skills on top of whatever you get.
Yeah, he is a Hall of Famer. I mean, you got it. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We will see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
For Ramble Radio.
Ramble Radio.
Be safe, and we'll see you next week for more Good Will Hunting. Bye, everyone.